Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the GC Informer. Your favorite newscaster, Max, is back, and we have some interesting topics to talk about today, so let's get right into it. So first things first, the questionably included multiplayer DLC for Final Fantasy 15 has a closed beta that just went live today for Season Pass holders. The closed beta is going to be running from today until August 8th, and it allows you to create your own custom character and explore the world and do quests and all of the same stuff you did in the single player, but with 3 other friends. It's being called Comrades Mode, and there is no official release date for it just yet, but I'm going to assume it's coming out after episode Ignis, which comes out this December. It only makes sense because you played the 4 character stories, you know all about them. It's time to make your own. You know, this is really interesting stuff because I know Final Fantasy 15 is sort of a different take on the long-running franchise. You know, they have their big open-world single-player experience, and now they're adding weird character-focused DLC and then a multiplayer mode. It's interesting to look at this because this is probably how they're going to continue doing the series in the future, because Final Fantasy 15 is doing pretty well, let's be honest. And you know, even with these paid DLCs, they've still been supporting the game with small free DLCs like that weird Chocobo Carnival that was kind of a waste of an hour in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I love Final Fantasy 15, but it is cool that they're still doing stuff like that. I know Final Fantasy 15 has been a divisive game in the series for longtime fans, but no one can deny that it's one of the more unique titles to come out of this gen so far. I think it'll be very interesting to see where next installment goes after they're done supporting this game. Starting on Tuesday, August 8th, the Overwatch Summer Games are back until the 29th. It's going to be the same game mode as last year, Lucio Ball, but there's going to be some balance changes, a new Sydney map, and ranked gameplay. There will of course also be new skins and cosmetics to purchase, and last year's will be available for a reduced price. Now, don't get me wrong, it's really cool to see Lucio Ball back. I really enjoyed it last year, but I can't help but feel this Summer Games is going to be a bit lacking considering they're just rehashing the same event from last year. You know, I think it'd be really cool if each year they added a new event but brought on the previous ones as well, and then maybe eventually had some sort of big Olympic Games, like with 5 different modes that they've introduced over the 5 years. Of course, it's awesome that Blizzard is continuously supporting this game as they do with all their games, but I feel like the support has been a bit lacking in certain ways. For example, the 1-year anniversary event was really just cosmetics. Now, I know that they had the Uprising event right beforehand, but even that was just one mode. I understand that the modes are meant to be replayed constantly to keep getting loot and all that stuff, but I just wish they would include more to replay, you know what I mean? I do have to commend them for coming out with content at the rate that they do though. This isn't so much of a complaint, just more of a nitpick, you know what I mean? Regardless, it's great to see how many people are enjoying Overwatch each and every day. This game really is a phenomenon, and who better to have created it than Blizzard themselves? The yearly competition for Dota 2, the International, started yesterday. The tournament prize pool is currently at $23.3 million. The competition has 18 both qualified and invited teams to vie for the first place prize of $10 million. Can you imagine winning that much money for playing a video game? Of course, that's not to say it's easy. These people dedicate their lives to learning the ins and outs of their game. Much respect to all pro gamers everywhere, but just that is unreal to think about. And this esports scene is still young. Regardless of how people feel about it, it brings in money like no other. Regardless, today starts the group events, which are the teams playing against each other to try and get a spot for next Monday where the real event starts. The team with the least amount of wins in the next upcoming days is eliminated from the tournament before it even starts. On Monday, the stakes go up and people really start playing for that prize money. And last but not least for today's news, there have been 3 Persona spin-off games announced. They are Persona 3 Dancing Moon Knight, Persona 5 Dancing Night Star, and the much easier to remember Persona Q2. The 2 dancing games will be available on the PlayStation 4 and the Vita, while Q2 will be available on the 3DS just like the previous game. There's no release date for these titles, aside from the fact that they're coming next year. Anyways folks, that's about it for today's episode of the GC Informer. As always, I hope you enjoyed, and leave your guys' thoughts on these stories down in the comments below. Always like hearing what you guys have to say on everything. Thanks again for watching, hope you all enjoyed, and don't forget to stay tuned to GameCast for all of your gaming needs.